Welcome back to Talks on the Rocks. I really don't know what episode this is of Talks on the Rocks. We'll get that in there later. But the scenery for us looks a little different. We got some guests here. One who's been on the show before. It wasn't a Talks on the Rocks episode. It was actually on some other things that we pointed out. And then one that has not been here before.
The new guy.
New face. Exactly. He's a new face. And so he's here on the show today. Talks on the Rocks. We're going to have a fun time, have some casual conversation. But before I get into that, I'll let them reintroduce themselves and then introduce themselves for the first time. So who do we have here?
Yeah, I'm Jared
Yes.
Boyett.
Yes.
And a Marquand friend,
Yeah.
coworker,
Absolutely.
brother.
Yes.
So,
All
yeah,
of the above. All of the above.
it's good to be here.
Yep, Ray Dorsey, a friend as well, a brother as well, I guess. So
Nebraska Cornhusker fan.
All of that.
deep
True,
down, you know,
true and through.
go Big
Absolutely.
Red, baby. That's where I'm
Oh.
at, so.
You brought up football.
I did.
You know what? This is Talks on the Rocks. We might as well get into it. What rolled out? What rolled out this week? What do we got? What came?
Little
What came
NFL
about?
schedule, huh?
Whoa.
Chiefs Ravens.
Yeah.
Chiefs Ravens.
Yeah.
Week 1.
Absolutely. So the NFL schedule came out. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of it? Who's your team? What are we thinking?
I was never an NFL fan
Okay.
ever,
Okay.
and then I moved to Kansas City.
Yeah.
And so
Kind of have to be.
Yeah.
now I'm a Chiefs fan for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. You spend any
Absolutely.
time with some Chiefs fans and they just force you into fandom.
Man.
Gosh.
Both on purpose and on accident.
Yeah.
So they'll pressure you into it, right, in conversation.
Yeah.
But then also you just go to a game and it's electric. and
Different.
It's just different.
It's different,
You
man.
see Mahomes flying around there on
Yeah.
like 1 foot and
Yeah.
feel like he's going to throw a pass to you.
Absolutely.
You know?
Finding Kelsey everywhere in the field.
Right.
So,
They're
yeah.
they're in sync.
Tandem.
You can't. They're unmatched, and so I really like that dynamic. Okay, what else? We got some basketball, some good stuff happening in basketball. What's
Thunder-
happening in basketball?
Thunder up, baby.
Yeah,
Playoffs.
you're a
playoff
big
action.
Thunder
Yes.
fan here.
Yeah, down 3-2. That's all right. We're going to come back.
Okay, you
My
got
guy
hope.
Shay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got hope. Yeah, we're gonna
Okay.
about to win 2 in a
What
row here.
happened last night? I mean, again,
No energy, man. No
No
energy.
energy.
You can't come out flat. Game 5 at home in your own
Gosh.
building. No
Yeah.
energy.
it's like the only one I watched, and I had to turn it off at half. I was like,
Yeah.
they're down 10, 15. What happened?
Yeah, I've watched every dribble of the series, and you can't come out flat. I don't know how you do that in a 2-2 series. I literally don't know how. Comes
At
down ultimately
home?
to coaching. Comes down to coaching ultimately. Didn't have the guys ready.
That's good.
I don't even know the coach.
Mark Daignault, Coach of the Year. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I saw the guy on the sideline. I was like, who is that guy? I've never seen him before in my
That's the
life.
thing I love about him, man.
Yeah.
He's just another guy. I saw some stuff on Twitter the other day, X, whatever you want to call it. He drives a Toyota Highlander. That's my guy.
That
Just
is your
another
guy.
guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
For
see him
sure.
at Aldi out in Oklahoma City, and you'd probably be like, "Hey, what's up?"
I know why he's your guy.
Yeah.
You're pretty similar.
That's right.
Hey, what's
That's
up?
right.
Kind of look the same.
Oh no.
We got the pullovers, same pullovers, shop at the same places.
Oh man.
Big
What-
Macy's,
What's
Kohl's.
his team? I don't remember your team.
He's
Come
the
on.
Spurs, man.
Spurs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he
yes.
loves losing basketball games.
Not,
Well, hold on now.
I didn't say it. He said it, not me.
Hold on. We got more rings than you
No,
guys.
yeah. That's
True.
So,
We have 0, so
hold
yeah.
on.
Here we
I
go.
know. I mean, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. We got a little bit of a head start.
It's true.
And we're
Yeah.
coming back. Wemby's coming in, so
Mm.
he's getting right. And we got 2 picks in the first 10 spots this year in the draft.
Yeah,
So
in the worst draft ever.
worst draft. But we got 4 next year, too. That's
Yeah, that's
supposed to
true.
be the next best one ever.
Yeah, it
so,
is.
hey, I've got some ammo for you. You better watch out.
I
Here we
didn't think he
go.
was this prepped.
Here we go. Yeah, that. He's
Now
ready
he's
to
throwing
go.
one-liners, but
He's
he's
ready
out
to go.
here. Yeah, he's ready.
Absolutely. Well, I want to bring up something that Jared alluded to earlier. He said it comes down to the coaching.
Yep.
And so when we talk about these different teams, these different players, what do you guys think? What is the deciding factor? What's the decision making process for these people? What are we looking for a team to be great? Is it one person? Is it a collaborative effort? What is it? What do you guys think?
It's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it obviously it's a result of the team, but somebody's responsible.
Yeah.
Like somebody has to be held accountable for the team, and in sports specifically, especially the NBA, it's so easy. If any team, according to the expectations that were put on them at the beginning of the year, underperforms, their coach is getting fired. They're getting fired,
Oh, yeah.
and
Maybe 20 games in, they're done.
literally, yeah, bucks, and it's just. I think it's one of the hardest things to do is
Yeah.
to coach, especially to coach like grown adults.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like these people are grown adults.
Yeah, these are
They make their own decisions.
Yep.
Absolutely. Grown men, grown women. And you have to get them to rally around something. Everybody has to be rallied around the same thing. So first of all, what is that thing? What are they going to rally around? And then how are you going to motivate them to run after that thing? How are you going to inspire them to go after that one specific thing? Which in sports, sure, it's a championship, or maybe for the Spurs, it's development of a player or whatever, because they're they're realistic. They're not going to win the championship this year. So it's like you got to get them to rally around something. So what is that thing? And then how do you get 22, 23, 24, 25-year-olds and then 36, 37, 38-year-olds all rallied around the same thing, going in the same direction? And it's hard to do.
Yeah, I think I agree 100%. I think you're looking from the coach's box, over the overall grand scheme of thing. But I think it boils down to who's on that field or that court, who's the leader, right? That person, you said it could be an individual. I truly believe in trench leadership, right? That's something that we talked about on a podcast here. That's Luke Eckley's favorite term he likes to coin.
Yeah, he does.
But, really getting in the depths with your players, with your team, right? Whether it's sports, whether it's sales, whatever it is, having that one person that can get the people to rally around, right? You know, you always got that one that's like, okay, we know if he's here, they're here. Right. And so I think that's an important aspect of it as well when it comes to teams, when it comes to leadership, just having that one leader. Because I think, take it back to sports, Patrick Mahomes, you look at him. Yeah. I mean, I would think he's looking at him a fantastic leader. Right. He's out there, he's on a mission when he's on that field. And they listen. They listen. And so you always need that one. Yeah. Absolutely.
I would say also, too, everybody's going to have a different role. You got to put people in places where they're going to succeed, right? So, you're going to have the top of the top, whatever it is. You're going to have the Mahomes. You're going to have the Kelseys. But you also need that offensive line. Right. You need those people that maybe don't need all the recognition. They can throw down the ego. Yeah. You need that in business and sports, whatever it is. Yeah. And you got to put people in position to succeed and get them the ball, whether that's in sales, NFL, basketball. Yeah, that's how they're all thinking too. And the best coaches, they can get the offensive linemen to buy into their role and how it assists the team to get to the vision, right? So it's like, Mahomes gets all the fame. He also takes all the blame, And so that's a lot of responsibility. Tough whenever you're that guy. But the receivers, the defensive backs, all those other people that are on the team, they're really important. Their role just looks a lot different, but Andy Reid, I would argue, I don't know Andy Reid personally, and I don't know any NFL coaches, but I bet one of the biggest parts of their job, they would say, is how do I get the defensive backs to buy into their role and how that impacts the long-term vision. And then if they do, man, these are the results. And that's tough. It's tough to get people to buy into, hey, be a star in your role. Not everybody's going to be Pat Mahomes.
Yep. Nope. Not possible. No. I don't know. That's really good. That's really good, Jared. Well, I want to bring it to another avenue. We talked about really getting people rallied around and et cetera, leadership. I want to talk about inspiration, right? It's kind of the same type of deal, right? Sure. Motivation, inspiration. But how do one inspire, someone to really get on board and really get what they want out of the job that they have at hand? How do we do that? How do you do that as a leader, right? What are some tools, some tactics that you use to inspire people? Yeah.
First of all, I think it's really hard. Yeah. Super hard. Yeah. One thing this past week that we had here in the office was we had a guest speaker. Just so happens to be my dad.
Yeah. Really good.
But, man, really successful leader. Has been a high-level leader for really the last 35 years. And major corporations and leading massive teams with billions of dollars of production, right? And so a lot of stress. I remember growing up, and I don't see my dad when I wake up in the morning because he's already at work, and I don't see him when I go to bed because he's still there, right? Like just it's a lot of work and stressful. But he came and he spoke to our entire leadership team on inspirational leadership. How do you inspire people to do the things that they want to do and ultimately that you want them to do, right? And he shared some stats, which were crazy, but he shared, I think the stat was 1 out of 8 employees in every American company. 1 out of 8 employees say that they're inspired. That's it. The other 7 out of 8, they're not inspired at work. And ultimately, what he said was that comes down to the leader. People are responsible for their own decisions, but ultimately, it's the leader's job to help inspire people. And so what he did with our whole leadership team was, I think he set a really good example of what it looks like. And you have to get vulnerable with your people and tell them what inspires you.
Man.
And I remember, I mean, all three of us were in the room, but we started talking and getting vulnerable.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to name names, but Ray, no, Ray got emotional.
Yeah.
And here at Apollo, I'm Ray's leader, right?
Yeah,
Ray
yeah.
Ray reports to me, and so I knew a lot of the things that Ray already said were really important to him.
Yeah.
But to hear him vocalize that,
Yeah.
and I would say reciprocated to hear me vocalize the things that inspire me to him.
Correct.
Man, now I know exactly what I'm supposed to focus on in my one-to-ones, or when we're building content, or when we're helping, trying to think through how do I get this guy to sell more, or how do I help this person or that person. Man, I got to go back to the things that inspire Ray. Man, this is why you're doing this stuff. This is why you're showing up. I don't care if you're flipping burgers or making pancakes or hanging Christmas lights or selling insurance.
Yep.
It's like, man, we all want to be inspired. And so I think that was a really good tool that my dad used, was like, hey, everybody in this room, all 14 of us, we're gonna list out all the things that inspire us right now, the top 5 things, and you're all gonna hear what the other people in the room think and why that inspires them. I think that was big for us.
When you threw me under the bus, yeah. Emotionally, it was more of like, you know, you got to have the inner self, which I was obviously dealing with in that moment. But I think something else that is powerful is hearing everybody else's inspiration. And when we did that activity, you know, I heard 7 people go before me, and I didn't feel an ounce of emotion. Yeah. But I think the buildup, when it got to me, I started to feel a little bit nervous and understanding, like, okay, it kind of reminded me we're all here for our own personal things. We have our group team that we're coming together for and goals like that.
Right.
But when I vocalized mine, I was like, man, we all have something so important to us that's driving us.
Yes.
And that is such a deeper down, bigger thing that if you don't think about it every day and you don't hear everybody else's, when we do it, it really hit me quick.
Yeah. And it did.
It got me.
Yeah. But that was good. That was good, because if it's nothing that tugs at you, right? If it's nothing that pushes you forward, then it's not real, right?
It doesn't really inspire you then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I agree 100%. I think that when we're looking to lead people or inspire people, we cannot lead from a positional standpoint, right? Yeah. Meaning I can't just lead you. I'm your boss, right? That's the positional standpoint. So you're going to do what I tell you to do, and I need you to hit these goals just because I'm your boss. Right. That's what I mean by a positional standpoint. No, that's not going to work. We have to understand the people that we are leading. We have to know about their lives. We have to know about, what they like to do. We have to know about every single thing, because those are the things that's going to tug at them, right? Those are the things that I can utilize to get them to go, right? If you're not having a good week or you're just down in the dumps, hey, Jared, Josie got to eat tomorrow.
Yep.
Hey,
that's right.
You got to put that applesauce on the plate tomorrow. I need you to go. Or same thing, you have to use things that are going to be sincere to them. And so I think it's important to lead, especially like you said, with inspiration and really understanding who you're leading.
Right.
I think it's important.
And then sometimes like it's hard to get people to realize that. So one thing I think Ray's done a really good job of, that hopefully you can speak to a little bit here, is I think he's done a really good job over the last few months, is we've had to create some inspiration for some of our people out of just creating some competition and teamwork, and people want to be bought into something bigger than themselves. If you can talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. Well, we put in a competition, so it was based off of Nebraska. That's where I'm from.
Oh gosh,
go Big Red! We got the Nebraska football team. I got it from them, and in the off season, right? They're not playing any games right now. They had to find a way to not only be inspired a little bit every single day, but be consistent. Yeah. And I heard something the other day was consistency is you don't get to pick and choose every day. You're either consistent or you're not.
Right.
And so I think Matt Rule, the head coach at Nebraska, he did this because he wanted to see some competition. He wanted them to be going for something and to build some camaraderie. So what we did with our team was similar to them, is we created 4 different teams, put 8 people on a team, and you can get points for sales related things, selling policies, intake, stuff like that, but also intangible things, showing up on time, staying late,
showing up early,
referring people to, come and check us out for position spots like that.
Networking events.
Yeah. Meeting with people, going out, cold calling, those kinds of things. And so, when you're getting those points and you got your team, and then there's a reward for it, not only for the week, but for the month, and then hopefully a big one at the end of the year, kind of like a Super Bowl, if you will. Yeah. That can drive your team, and you're building camaraderie that way.
It's really good. I think we had my brother on the podcast I believe it was last week, and he said something that
He had some
kinda goes back.
gold in that podcast.
He did, didn't he? That was a good one. Thank you. He really did. A lot of knowledge. And so he said something, you want to continue to reward the behaviors you want to see. You want
Right.
to continue to see, right? And so that's good. Like you're coming up with things to reward behaviors that you want to continue.
Yeah.
And so that's really good. Absolutely. That's a great idea.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the competition has been really successful. We started it in April, right?
March.
Yeah, March. Yeah. So this is
We're on month 3.
This is month 3, and it's no shock that production is through the roof,
Yep.
activity is through the roof, morale is through the roof. People are loving it. People are chirping. Competition, and it takes a lot of hard work to think through something like this and to plan it out and to do it and to be serious about it. But it's like, man, when you do it the right way, it can lead to all the things that you want to see. Like every sales agent would come into work at any place that they work at, I would hope, and say, man, I want to sell some stuff today. I'm a sales agent. That's what I should do. I should show up to work and I want to sell, right? But it can get lost in the monotony of day-to-day stuff. Yeah. And so it's like, man, if we can keep it fresh and even inspire with something just small, something just daily, like, man, hey, if you show up early today, you can get 2 extra points for your team. If you get 2 extra points for your team, what if that inspires the rest of the people on the team to get 2 extra points? Well, now you got 8 people on the team, that's 16 points. Just for showing up early? Sure, I'll take
Times
that.
that by 5, and you got basically a couple sales in there and everything with that. So
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. That goes to another point. I mean, again, it falls on leadership, right? Whether that be a team aspect or individual, but creativity, right? Who's going to bring the creativity? Who's going to change how we do things every day so we're not redundant, right? So that we can have that fresh feel.
Yeah.
And usually it falls on leadership,
Right.
To be creative and bring new ideas to the table to make things move.
yeah.
And so that's pretty cool how it comes full circle.
I want to add one thing to that too. That one of the best things that I think that we've gotten out of the competition is not, leadership's not just top down. It's peer to peer.
Yeah.
And so when you put those, 8 guys on a team,
Right.
and if you show up late, you get docked points.
Yeah.
They're starting to hold each other accountable. And so we went from, having, some late problems every once in a while to literally none the first 3 or 4 weeks of the competition. Then you have some other things that happen, but you get to see other people hold each other accountable.
Yeah.
And that way, as a leader, you don't have to do it.
Right.
And there's some inspiration there from each other, and they're kind of all moving again in one way, one direction together.
Yeah. I mean, I know we were talking about Mahomes earlier, but if I'm some receiver and Andy Reid chews me out, I'm like, okay, whatever. If Mahomes chews me out, he's on my team. He's we're peers. We're on the same level. You know what I mean? That hits different. Yeah. The coach is supposed to chew me out. Yeah. I don't want to get chewed out by somebody, my teammate.
Right.
And peer-to-peer leadership is the hardest to do because the guy who has to go be a leader is like, man, I'm on the same level as you. There's some insecurity in there.
Don't talk to me like that.
Right.
All of that.
But it's also, in my opinion, the most effective.
Yeah.
And because now I don't have somebody talking down from me like you're talking about positionally.
Yeah.
Like I know that this person is coming to me. We're on the same level, not for any financial gain, not for any, like they're coming to me because they care about me and they care about the team's success.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm sure we've all been on teams growing up where one person's late to practice and then the whole team has to run.
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
It's the same thing. It's like you're not leading your peers by showing up late. And so now they all have to suffer because of what you did. I was on a team one time in high school that if anybody was late, the whole team had to run besides that one guy. And he had to sit there and watch you.
So he was getting beat up after practice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
People were all over them. But then it did exactly what Ray's talking about. If I see somebody in the locker room before practice and they're running a little bit behind, I'm on them.
Yeah.
I'm not. You're not making me run.
Accountability.
I hate running.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. And so then it does exactly what the coach wants, which is, man, I shouldn't be the one that has to have these conversations every time. Somebody else on the team can step up and handle those. So yeah, that's been cool.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
And I think that we're going to do this. I mean, you call the shots. But I would say we should do this, every year in and out.
Right.
So
The Apollo Sales League.
That's right.
ASL.
That's right.
That's what it is.
Oh gosh, we got names already.
You got to name it, man. You got to name it.
Good. Well, that's good. Well, guys, I just wanted to bring you guys another Talks on the Rocks with new faces, right? Just more content that we can give you guys. And so hopefully you carried something away from here. And if you have any questions, or if you have a favorite team, or if you have, your picks, or the playoffs is going on, whatever, you want to comment about it, comment below. We're always here to entertain that and have some fun with you. So until next time, this will end the Talks on the Rocks episode.